and welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we're going to introduce you to an organization that is doing good in the community with few resources and on a pretty big scale. My guest is Gabe Diaz. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. How you doing?
It's so good to see you.
Good.
We chatted a little bit before this, and I'm just so excited about your story because you are showing how one or two people can make a difference without a big organization or a big fuss or a whole lot of stuff. You just started doing something.
And that's what it's all about. It's just not waiting on anybody to take the initiative, and whatever you have and a few like minds, just joining out and taking that first step together.
So tell us, your organization is called One Love Community.
One Love Community.
And that story about how it started, like what was the first thing you did?
Basically, One Love Community was started 2 years ago, this past Monday. And it just started from a conversation that we felt like needed to be had between local law enforcement and the citizens of Hampton. We felt like that somewhere between the 80s, and I'm telling my age again, but somewhere between the 80s and today, there was a breakdown in communication between the police officers. You remember the Lost Officer-Friendly program, McGruff the Crime Dog. That was something that they entered into the schools to show safety, and it built a bond and a relationship outside of the school in the communities. Fast forward to 2018, something's happened. So we started a communication conversation one summer day. We went out to the police station, a couple of friends of mine, we had a cooler of ice water, and every officer that walked past us, we just offered them a bottle of water and started a conversation. And that open dialogue just kind of really opened up to something that we didn't think was going to happen. But like you said, not waiting on anybody, not looking for a bunch of resources, just taking out and stepping and having that conversation. And One Love was birthed then. And we've been doing big things in the community, amazingly, with the help of a few people, and it's been a great blessing, definitely.
It just amazes me because I think what is hard for so many people is taking that first step because it's a risk. I mean, all over the country you hear stories of driving while black, living while black, and the disassociation from community and police has been growing nationally. So for you to just decide, hey, I'm just going to go hang out outside the police station and offer up water and see if anybody wants to talk. Were you nervous about that?
I was a bit nervous only because I know the tension and I know the climate of where we are now. But personally, it meant something to me. I have twin 17-year-olds. So they walk these streets, they go to the parks, they hang out at the mall, and they're in the community. And I want them to feel safe. I want them to feel like that the law enforcement is there for them. I want the law enforcement to know that my children aren't a part of the crowd that you're looking to arrest. My children, and then there are more of these kids out here, you know what I mean? They need voices, and a lot of times we have to be that voice. We actually had a few children out there, and just to bring them along and show them, and that's what it's all about. We know that the kids are watching us, so whatever we do, if we're playing video games, they're gonna play video games. If we're active citizens in the community, they're seeing that too. So we brought the kids out there, and we had signs. It started off as just a small conversation, and from then it's birthed. We've had programs. We've brought many children from the city together. We've done a few anti-bullying workshops. We've done a couple of youth empowerment workshops. We do homeless feedings. We've done a lot through that initial conversation, and like I said, it just goes to show you that that first step could be major.
It has really snowballed. So tell us about some of your other events.
Well, we've actually partnered with quite a few different small organizations here in the city. One of them was the Adopt a Spot program with the Clean City Commission. And that's a great thing that we've done. And basically, we've found a park here in Hampton. It's River Street Park. It's downtown.
Oh, I love that park. I just launched my kayak from there the other day.
Nice. And a lot of people don't know about that park.
I know.
A lot of people don't know about that park.
People come to council and complain about that park. I'm like, no, that is cool.
No, that's a nice place. That's a nice place. And we've noticed that it falls right underneath the interstate passageway. So a lot of litter collects there.
Yeah,
a lot of people just throwing things out of their car, and it filters down into that park. So we took it upon ourselves.
We're
right there on the Hampton River.
In the Hampton River. It is downtown. It's
and somebody's got to take care of that. So we figured out that the city doesn't have enough officials and enough workers to man every single location. So they look for people to adopt these spots. So River Street Park has been our adopted spot. So from then we've done cleanup efforts, and we do a lot of community cleanup efforts. We do them monthly, and we just we get volunteers to come out. We partner with the Clean City Commission, so they bring out the vests and the hand grabbers, the buckets, and things like that. So we've taken care of the park for a year, and after that, we've decided to just utilize the park.
It's a lot better than it used to.
We've tried to keep it up, and we go around periodically, even without the group, and just kind of take a bag of trash out. And but since then, we've got a good response from the community, and they've opened up to us. We've got a few events coming up soon. We do a Poetry in the Park, which is a poetry series where now this park doesn't have any power. So everything out there is acoustic, live, and just interactive in your face. So we bring guitars, we have vocalists, poets, songwriters, spoken word artists, and it just gives them an avenue to express what they're doing, and just brings the community together once again on a different platform. It's not a community service vibe, but it's still birthed out of community.
It's so important for people to get out of their homes, to be a part of something.
There's something out here. There's something out here.
Invest, open up.
Most definitely, most definitely. That's what we try to do. Actually, our logo that we have, it's One Love Community, and the unity is in bold. So that's really what we're trying to push, is that it's a collective thing. Definitely.
So what are your goals for this organization? I mean, is it just sort of organically growing? Do you have a long-term plan?
Well, organic is what we say, but our long-term plan is to really bring the word community back. Community, actually, if you really think of the definition, it's a group of individuals that are self-sufficient, they can provide for themselves, and they can help each other without the help of an outside entity. So we're looking to show that in our communities here in Hampton, there are doctors, there are lawyers, there are counselors, there's daycare providers, there are mechanics, there's legal advice, and people go far to find those services, and those things are right here in the community. So really what we're doing in the entire scheme of things is to just bridge communities together and just strengthen communities. So there's no end goal, there's no deadline, because that'll be ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
So where do you see some of the greatest needs? Initially, you talked about people understanding police, police understanding people, and just making those connections.
I feel like
where else do you see
the greatest
big needs?
need right now for our city is to capture the attention of the youth. The youth are not the future, the youth are today. And that's a phrase that people have used so often. The youngsters are our future. No, they are today. So we have to cultivate them now. So youth violence prevention programs is a big thing. And we just try to foster those things. We have small groups that we try to meet with the kids, and we do homeless activities. When I say homeless activities, we do feeding programs just to show them there are less fortunate people here in the city. And if you can take the initiative to step outside of your circle and help that person, the blessing is immeasurable. You know what I mean? So really all of our activities are geared. We do many different things in the school systems and in the community, but our focus is basically youth. If you can get the youth at that age, when they're still moldable and they're still, excited about learning new things, we want to grab those attentions and just cultivate unity, really. So everything comes back to the youth, really.
That is wonderful. So
thank you.
What? Tell us then about, you said some anti-bullying, some kind of youth empowerment education stuff. What kinds of things have you done? What do you?
We actually had an anti-bullying. It was called Stand Up, Speak Out, and it was a workshop that we involved a lot of the inner city youth from all 4 high schools here in Hampton. We had some educators, we had some staff and faculty come out, and we just had an open discussion as to what you feel like needs to be done to eradicate bullying. Bullying is on the rise. It comes in many different forms that a lot of people don't recognize as bullying until it evolves and it spills over into something messy. So the Stand Up, Speak Out was basically empowering youth and educators. If you see something, you turning a blind eye to it is actually being a participant. So those things right there are just pretty much empowering youth to stand up for yourself, to stand up for your friends. You don't want your shoes stepped on, but don't let your friend get trampled either.
I think that's a hard thing. I think it was a hard thing when I was a kid.
It's very
still
hard.
A hard thing because you're so afraid of being picked on yourself. It's not like you want your friends to be picked on, but
you don't want the spotlight either.
Yeah, like if I jump in, then they're going to pick on me too, and it just and it's not healthy.
But that thought process needs to be changed, because a lot of times in this situation, especially in the school system, the bullying groups are the smaller groups. The ones that are actually doing right and the ones that are actually moving forward are the larger numbers. So they just have to recognize each other. And that's what we have to show. We have to show them that there's value in you. There's value in your neighbors.
Self-esteem
there's value,
is
right.
huge.
And that piece right there, if you can actually get a hold of the self-esteem piece and build these youngsters up, they'll band together and realize, okay, well, we don't have to tolerate that.
That's
we
right.
can't stand together and stand up against what's wrong, and stand up for what's right.
Awesome. Well, you were just recently recognized with a diversity award from the Citizens Unity Commission.
Yes. That was nice. That was very nice. They contacted us, and we were a bit surprised. We do a lot of works here, and not to really get attention from anybody, but it's a feel good for on a personal level. So to be recognized with a Unity Award, that was something very, very nice. And it just lets us know that our work isn't in vain, and somebody's noticing what's going on out here.
And I hope that your story will be an inspiration for other people who see things and just haven't taken that step, don't know how to take that step.
Don't know how or don't know where they could fit in.
Yeah,
come to One Love. Come to One Love.
Come, learn from you, then go do your own thing.
Definitely.
Or realize that one person, two people, three people can make a difference, and that there's needs out there and there's support out there.
There's support.
They won't be on their own forever.
No, and I mean, that's what we always say. I'm just a spark, you're just a spark, but our two spark together create a flame, So that's what it really is. Just letting people know that you're not alone. If there's something that you want to do, there's a burning desire in your heart for community service or youth advocacy or homeless awareness, there's people out here that can help you, activate your own little superpowers in your community.
Fabulous, fabulous. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, definitely.
And thank you for watching. I hope that you will join them in some of their efforts or learn from them that one or two people who see something can spark the community, can get people together, that can make a difference in whatever way, whatever place, however it is that you see the need and want to make a difference. Thanks for watching.